Good evening, and welcome to Injustice Investigations. I am your host, Al Scott.
And
Waiting on
I'm
Toby.
and I'm your co-host, Toby O'Neill.
As always, we thank you all for tuning in to our live broadcast tonight. Faye, good evening to you. Swatch, good evening to you as well. And Tracy Taylor, good evening to you. Uh, Always good to see you all. Always good to see you. So, tonight, it's like last night, we have a lot of news to cover this evening. We're going to start out with shootings, and not just in Shreveport, not just in Louisiana, shootings all over. Uh, a lot of people now that are being shot are innocent bystanders. They have no earthly idea what's going on. They went to check the mailbox. They went to the store. No, I'm lying. They were in their bed, Toby, and they were sleeping.
Exactly.
And a bullet came and interrupted. So last night? A 3-year-old boy in Minden, Louisiana, was killed in an apparent drive-by shooting sometime after 11 p.m. last night. The mother then drove that child to the hospital, but he would later be pronounced dead. That is, I think, it's either the third or the fourth shooting of a child within the last few days. So, and it was always fatal.
I know it. Sad. Real sad.
And so, and it's really no words that you can say to parents or guardian that will give them some comfort, because it's, especially when she drove her child to the hospital in hopes of saving his life. The last check, the two individuals, police said, are persons of interest, had not been arrested or picked up, but they did leave the scene in a vehicle. So another child life has come to an end because of violence in the city. When we don't know how to deal with things when they don't go accordingly, and I think Toby spoke about this 2 nights ago. Our thought process, as far as our decision making is concerned, is off. It's off because the only way you know how to deal with an issue is through violence. But what happens with that, there will be another shooting. That's guaranteed,
Exactly.
because most of it is gang related.
Exactly.
And so I don't know if you told me, but I think sometimes uh, the person that's home has been shot up. I think sometimes even when they say they don't know who did it, they know, and they know why.
Like we know, we're talking about Minden. We're talking about Arcadia, and like those places are smaller than Shreveport. And just like I tell
Hmm.
people about Shreveport, you can't hide in Shreveport. Shreveport is too small. You're going to run into somebody, and if you got a problem with somebody or something like that, you're going to run into them. If you're trying to hide from somebody just because you don't want to see them, you're going to run into them in Shreveport. And I said that to say this: somebody know what's going on. They said that that
Exactly.
shooting was related to an earlier shooting in Arcadia, a fatal shooting. So we all know, if we've ever, you know what I'm saying, been anywhere close to that type of situation, we already know that 9 times out of 10, that was a retaliation shooting. If two
Hmm.
people or two groups of people in a small town are beefing or into it with each other to the point where there's shooting going on and people are getting shot, people know what's going on. People know what's going on. And I hate to say
And
it
it's
because it
mhm.
may sound insensitive, but they were shooting at somebody in that house. Somebody in that house, they felt like somebody in that house, somebody associated with that house, or somebody that had something to do with that house was the cause of something that was worth them shooting up in that house for. And somebody, whoever was in that house or whoever is associated with that house, they know why those guys are after them. They know that that baby had nothing to do with that. And the fact that the street rules or the street codes or whatever it is that keeps them from coming forward and saying something
Mhm.
about that, like, where are the head of households in that household?
Exactly.
Where are the parents? Who's the head of household? You know, as a parent myself, you know what I'm saying? I know that what my kids do out there in the street has the potential to affect me at home. My kids can go out
Mm.
there in the street and to make mistakes and to do something, and me being at home in my bed, I could, you know what I'm saying, feel the effects of that. And that's what happened to that baby. And that's sad because just like I said, right now, it's time for somebody, some adult in that community to grab those kids who were involved in this, because the age range, like I said, was of these suspects or these people wanted in questioning was age 24 down to 15. Some parents need to grab them little kids in their collar and take them down there to the police station and say, hey, you need to tell them what's going on before you end up in jail for retaliating, or for you end up in jail for somebody retaliating on you. That's
And I agree with that. You know, we talked a little while ago about when we were watching the first 48, when that mother, that real mother, gets her child, takes him or her to the police station and said, you better tell everything you know, even if it requires you going to jail. Parents have to step up. They have to have that quality time with their kids so they will know what's going on. But when adults continue to put themselves in predicaments such as this, what they're not understanding is it will affect someone they know and love indirectly
exactly. And
because
so
of what they're doing. And so you can't love yourself and you can't love the ones you say you love, because if you did, why would you put my life in danger?
exactly. Bro, them
And then you
youngsters
lie
don't
to the
know no
police
better.
and say, I don't know who did it. I don't have no enemies. You know who did it. You know you have enemies.
The parents know who the enemies are. The parents know who the enemies are. You know what I'm saying? Parents, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, don't get me wrong, I'm a parent. So I know it's a lot of stuff going on out there in the street. You know what I'm saying? When my child leave outside of my door that I don't know about. But
Exactly.
like I said, when it comes down to shooting and it comes down to that type of activity right there, that word travels. You know what I'm saying? When
Exactly.
we I did a lot of stuff in Shreveport that my mother heard about in Dallas. I did a lot of stuff when I was young in Shreveport that my mother heard about in Dallas. And I'm gonna tell you something, like I got to a point in my life where I made so many bad decisions to at one point when I went to jail, I called my dad to get me out of jail. He called my mom to consult with my mom, and my mom told him, leave him in there. He's safer in there than he is on the streets. I feel safer with him in there than I know, because I know where he is and I know what's going on, than I felt with him out there in the streets. And people have to start realizing, the parents have to start realizing, like, you don't have to you don't have to get him and take him down there, you know what I'm saying, to tell what's happening and what's going on. But then don't jump on the news saying they didn't have to do him like that when they, you know what I'm saying, when it finally catches up with him. Don't
Come on.
jump on the news saying they didn't have to do him like that, because in your heart, you know you could have did something about it.
That's it. That's it.
Do something about it now. You know what I'm saying? Like we always like to say, give the person they flowers now, you know what I'm saying, before they did. Help them now.
Exactly.
Do something to help them now. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Then upholding them in that madness. You know what I'm saying? And then
Exactly.
just like you said, it's everybody else's fault when he ends up dead or he ends up in prison.
And I got something I want to add to that quickly, but hot chocolate, good evening to you. Candy Rice, good evening to you. Miss Winfrey is in the house tonight. Love you big time. Good evening. Okay, Miss Hudson is here as well. Love you all big time. One thing I think, Toby, and then we're going to get on with tonight's show, is that Black people, especially Black people, have to get some burial insurance. Just as sure as you came in, you have to leave. And it's not up to you when or where you leave. But I mean, if you can afford to pay that cell phone bill, Sandy Miller, good evening to you. If you can afford to pay that, if you can afford to keep paying Rental Center for that high dollar bullshit, there is nothing you can say that makes any sense about I can't afford insurance. If you can afford that cell phone, you can afford insurance. Some people, maybe they can't do it. I don't know. But for the most part, a lot of people can. But I think it's embarrassing when we have to go and start a GoFundMe page to lay our loved ones to rest. This is something that you have to think about. This is something that you have to talk about. And when it happens, it's too late. I don't have nothing. Let's start a GoFundMe. I mean, that's embarrassing. And not just only embarrassing, it's the loved ones. It's to get them into some burial insurance and yourself. Because it's going to happen, and a lot of times when it happens, it's unexpected. You didn't know it, but here you are now starting a GoFundMe page. So some things, we have to make it happen when it comes to burial insurance and stuff.
And at the rate that the murder rate is increasing.
But if you have to do it, then I guess you just have to do it. But we got to omit our wants and start taking care of our needs. Okay, Kay Hollins is in. Good evening to you. Welcome. Okay, Toby. Last night, we spoke on R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
That was a powerful show last night because we had a lot of people upset. A lot of people were having headaches. They was acting up. They were saying super stupid.
I guess Mr. Scott was cut out. We'll give him a minute to get back in. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody having a great evening.
Okay. Someone said that Mr. Scott is two-faced. Now, let me say this to you. Not one time have you ever heard Mr. Scott say Kelly, R. Kelly that is, was innocent. I've never said that. We dealt with due process of the law. I told you about the alleged victims and how a lot of it was a setup. It was. But with it being a setup, don't miss the message now. If R. Kelly wasn't doing some diabolical, freaky things, there would not have been a setup. It's a man's prerogative to change his damn mind. So a lot of you all were disappointed last night at the way I came pertaining to R. Kelly. Well, time brings about a change. Certain things you hear, certain things you see, and you go like, But I think it's pathetic. I think it's stupid. I think that it speaks bad of your parents when you get upset because someone don't see things the way you see them.
Exactly.
Everyone has an opinion. Now, if y'all want to go there and lay up with R. Kelly, I'm talking to the females, why he's in jail, I'm sure they'll make it happen. And for you niggas to come on here, go where you had to and boot your ass over and let R. Kelly fuck you in your ass. If you love him that goddamn much. R. Kelly is a predator. That's simple. That's just simple. And you get upset when we call it the way we see it. I'm not with that click shit. I don't know what the fuck y'all doing in YouTube streets. I don't get in y'all bullshit. I know how y'all operate over there to a degree. That shit don't happen over here. I don't give a damn if you disagree with me, Toby, or anybody on this live feed. Your black ass or white ass, whatever it is, must disagree of being respectful to that person's opinion. And if you can't do that, if you're not emotionally intelligent, get your ass off my live. Y'all super goddamn stupid. And I'm not going to give it to you with a little sugar to help it go down because you're embarrassing your damn selves. That's what you're doing. R. Kelly created the drama that's in his fucking life. And if anybody thinks R. Kelly is 1,000,000% innocent, You ought to kill your goddamn self because you're useless to society. I don't come on here to make friends or to get you to agree with me. I'm telling you the way I see it. The way I see it is not written in stone, but it's the way I see it. And let me tell you something about the documents online. You only get to see what the courts put online for you to see and what they want you to know. But journalists, reporters, the media, they get more information that they cannot put out. And some of y'all are speaking out on third-hand information. And you're not speaking on facts. You're speaking because your emotions are out of control. Because you worship the ground the pedophile works on. And some ignorant sapsucker had the audacity to say, Mr. Scott, the Pied Piper was a fictional character. Goddamn, blow me away. I didn't fucking know that. You missed the whole goddamn message. You missed that. You missed that.
Exactly.
R. Kelly didn't know that his people were paying people off. What the fuck? It's just super stupid. The way you think. It's super stupid. I don't give a damn if you disagree with me or anyone tonight. Disagree with respect for that person's opinion. Y'all act like R. Kelly is a fucking god. R. Kelly is a fucking freak. And he did a lot of the things they said he did. He did. He know he did it. He know that. And for the sapsucker, you're going to have a lot of unsubscribers tonight. Well, goddamn, I don't give a fuck. But guess what? We didn't. We didn't. It went up. It went up because there are some rational thinking people.
That respect our
it went up.
That respect our opinion and respect that we have, just like they have a right to speak, we have a right to speak too. You know what I'm saying? Like on your platform, you have the right to speak what you want, whether it's true or false. But the one thing about us, like I said before, I will add some more to it before I take something back, because morally and values, I stand on. I'm not going to put out nothing out here. I'm not going to put no false information, just like I consistently said. We consistently said allegedly, because that's what was presented in court documents, allegedly. We're not the judge. We're not the jury. But I can't have an opinion. I can't have an opinion. You can't stop me from having an opinion. You can't have me from stopping at looking at all the documentation that's available, and from my state of mind, forming an opinion. You can't stop me from doing that. And I wouldn't try to stop you from doing that. But where we can come together is when we can sit down and be adult enough to listen to each other's opinions, even when you don't agree with each other, and agree to disagree.
Exactly. That's just respect. And then when someone was talking about what this lady said and that lady said, well, here's what you got to realize. When they're on show A, they said something different when they go to show B. It doesn't mean that they're lying, and they might be, but they said something different. But here's what some people do. The shit that you want to be true, and you see something that agrees with how you think, I knew it. No. You just want it to be so. And as far as R. Kelly's 30-year career, and when I said that I can't imagine only 4 or 5 girls coming forth and he had a 30-year career. I still can't imagine. I know it's more out there. But this show is not tailor-made to fit your every goddamn need. We don't rock like that. We don't rock like that. If you want bullshit, get off this channel. And to the fat bitch, stop making up fake YouTube channels to come on here to say what the fuck you really feel about me. Let me know who you are before I call your goddamn name out. Y'all are sick. Y'all have YouTube channels for bullshit and gossip. That's that Jerry Springer, Ricky Lake shit. Anything anything you see, you repeat it. I saw this and I saw that. Miss Scott, you weren't there when it happened. Your ass wasn't there either. Now what? And we don't delete comments when they're not in agreement with what I'm saying or someone on my live is saying. We delete them when they're super stupid and disrespectful. This channel is not suited for children, and it never will be. And with that being said, we're gonna take a different route tonight, right, Toby?
Oh yeah, we're gonna take the same. We're gonna take the same route. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, last night we got sidetracked because people got in their feelings and people got offended. You know what I'm saying? Because people felt like we were attacking R. Kelly. R. Kelly, you know what I'm saying, is only one of the people, you know what I'm saying, that has been implemented in stuff like this. You can take Jeffrey Epstein, you can take Larry Nassar, it's a bunch of more that can be put in that category. But exactly. we chose R. Kelly because we know our people relates to him more than they relate to the other people. I knew it would touch people's feelings. I knew it would cause people to lash out and attack because people love R. Kelly, you know, and I respect that. But just because we love someone don't mean that that person don't make mistakes. Don't mean that that person is almighty and all, you know what I'm saying, good. R. Kelly has a problem. R. Kelly has a problem. And until that problem is addressed, that problem will continue. That problem will never, you know what I'm saying, get solved. He will never get the help he needs for that problem. And the thing that we wanted to focus on yesterday before people got so caught up and upset about us allegedly attacking R. Kelly, what I really wanted to focus on in my part of the segment was the enablers. I wanted to focus on the enablers. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to read something to you. Regardless of, you know what I'm saying, how we feel or what we think or how we feel about R. Kelly, I'm going to read you the definition of a few things. Okay. First of all, child trafficking. Child trafficking is the recruitment, coercion, transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of children under the age of 18 for the purpose of exploitation. Take that in, soak it in for a minute. Exploitation is defined as the action or fact of treating someone unfairly in order to benefit from their work. Take that in. Because out of all the people that's involved in this situation, you know what I'm saying? Number one, we start with the parents. These are teenagers. Those girls, 13, 14, 15, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, underage girls. Regardless of how you want to put it, regardless of how we might say, oh, those young girls, they know what they're doing. They this, that, there, they fast, they thoughts, or whatever. By law, those girls were not old enough to give consent. By law. So the parents who didn't know where their child was during this time when they was allegedly with R. Kelly, spending nights and doing this allegedly, the fact that those parents never raised an alarm, never, you know, called the police, made a missing persons report or anything like that about their child is at the very least child neglect. At the very least, child neglect. You take the people in R. Kelly's camp, take the guys who I know feel like they lost. The guys now, I know, like I was telling my uncle earlier, most of the people who are telling and snitching on R. Kelly now, as we call it, snitching on R. Kelly now, are people that lost the benefits that came with keeping everything quiet. I know this. There is no doubt, but these people need to be held accountable. The people who said they passed out his number to underage girls, the people who said they picked up and transported underage girls to different locations where he met with them. All of those people need to be held accountable. Just like the case with Larry Nassar. Larry Nassar, you know what I'm saying, was the guy who molested all the girls who were training for the Olympics. Larry Nassar did this under the guise of, I'm training them for the Olympics. I'm keeping them away from their parents with me, strictly with me. They have no outside contact with family members. They have no outside contact with family because they're focused on their coaching. Some of the same thing they said R. Kelly did, allegedly, alienate those kids from their parents. If a parent allows a teenage child to be alienated from them, or allow someone else to take them into their care or to their custody where they have no contact with their child, at the very least, that is child endangerment. That is child neglect. We talk about this all the time in the communities. But when it's R. Kelly, and like I said, everybody wants to make excuses or make, reasonings for why this and why. No, you know what I'm saying? The fact of the matter is, those are teenage girls that are involved. And as parents, as the adults, as everybody, if the money, if the fame, if the job that he gave you, or the girls that you got to get for hanging out with R. Kelly, if that was enough for those parents and those other people to turn a blind eye to what was going on, then everybody should be locked up. Everybody should be held accountable, and everybody should be locked up.
Right. And brother, I totally agree with that, because we have to look at the parents. Nobody talks about the parents, the parents, the parents, the parents. Okay, why can't we hold them accountable? Well, the feds don't want to do it because they're helping the feds, hopefully, to convict R. Kelly. So they're going to give them a pass. I don't think they should be given a pass, because they knew, not only did the parents know what was going on, they was part of it. They became pimps, and the daughters became hoes for R. Kelly. So if I'm the feds, no, we're not going to, there's no fucking deal coming for you. You're just going to testify, and we're going to deal with it. You pimp your child out to the highest bidder, and that was R. Kelly. And so if someone said a little while ago, R. Kelly shouldn't go to prison by himself, whoever said it, I totally agree with you, because all his managers knew it, the aides, his assistants, they booked the flights, they rented the cars, they got the hotel, but nobody knew nothing. Nobody knew nothing. Nothing. You didn't. He locked up in a room with a child. And what you thought he was doing, helping a child with a homework because he can't spell .com.
And I'll be the first to admit that the people who feel like R. Kelly should, get some help, like, I'm not opposed to it. I'm not the guy, that's going to jump up and say everybody should go to jail and everybody, because some people have serious problems, and I think he has a serious problem. So if they were to recommend counseling for him to get help, I wouldn't be opposed to that. But what I'm saying is, what's to stop the next person, who sees potential in their daughter, to be a singer or whatever? What's to stop that person, that mother or that father, from saying, I'm willing to, turn a blind eye, or I'm willing to put a blinder on because I feel like we can benefit financially later in the end. What's to stop it from happening again? That's what I'm saying. Exactly. If these people are not held accountable, if R. Kelly is not made to hit, if R. Kelly stood up in court and admitted to what he did, even if he didn't do everything they say he did, because I've been accused of doing something that I didn't do. But the one thing that the difference in me and him is, number one, I don't care how much money I had. If I didn't do something, I'm not going to pay nobody. And for those that said somebody else, he didn't pay them, I wouldn't allow nobody else to pay nobody in my name for something I didn't do, because that's just like, me standing by and not saying nothing to me would be just like I'm in agreement with it. I wouldn't let, if somebody was accusing me of harming a child or doing something like that to a child, and me as a man, I would want to go above and beyond to clear my name. And I would tear down anybody who attempted to pay somebody in my name, attempted to, pacify somebody, any of that. I would have fought for my name.
Exactly. I want to speak on a comment real quick. But before I do that, Miss Smooth B, and I think it was Candace who donated. We love you big time. Thank you so much for that. Toby, Miss Smooth B says, I suppose he had well over 30 years to get help. He is sick and he needs to be confined away from anyone else's child again. And
And
listen, Kelly admitted that
and
he
just
needed
like
help.
just like I said, no, that's true. But just like I said he need, because I can't say he did everything he was accused of doing. I can't
Exactly.
say that. We can't say that. We
Exactly.
can't say he was accused of doing everything he, but if he was
Exactly.
accused of doing everything that he said he was doing, including paying people off and all of this and paying people to keep it covered up, then he should be locked up because in his right mind, he conspired to do it. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like conspiracy. When one or more people come together and knowingly conspire to commit a crime, it's conspiracy. That's
That's
punishable
it.
by major time in the feds. He has been charged with fed crimes, trafficking and stuff like that, child porn. It came from somewhere. It's being delivered. It's out of the, it's not just R. Kelly that's involved. But just like I
That's
said,
it.
since he's the biggest star and it'll be a stripe on somebody's cap to tear him down, they're willing to give everybody else a pass in order to take him down. And I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with that.
I'm not cool with that either because uh, this this is very very serious, and I want you to get to the sex trafficking because I think most people when they hear sex trafficking they just think it's just sex, but before they can get the girl to do what they want her to do or him to do it, they have to be broken down. They have to be, and a lot of times they're beaten, told, and they're drugged, and to get them to do whatever needs to be done. But you sent me some stats earlier today, and I want you to speak on what all goes on
Okay, I'm
when we
gonna
come
give you
to that.
one better though. I'm gonna give you one better though. I've been in
Okay.
the street. I've been in the streets my whole life. Nothing makes a person more vulnerable than being alone. Nothing makes a person more vulnerable than being alone. The fact that a couple of those girls were runaways, a fact that one of those girls, I know at least one of them said that they had been, molested at home and that they had spoke out at home to their mother and that their mother didn't believe them and their mother didn't protect them. Like that in itself made those girls vulnerable. Those girls couldn't depend on the person who brought them in this world to protect them. They ended up leaving a place where they felt comfortable in the care of a parent and going to the streets. That made them vulnerable. In the streets, nowhere to go, no means of making the money, no means of getting a meal. A lot of these girls, I know girls personally who have slept with guys or laid up with guys for a place to stay, for a meal. So this, you know what I'm saying? It's just like I said, they were perfectly primed for
Mm-hmm.
somebody with money, with influence, with fame to come along and say, "Hey, I care.
Exactly.
I
So
care."
if we, right, so if we don't validate our kids at an early age, they go looking for that validation.
Exactly. The
And
same the
and
same way women say, um, young girls who don't have their father end up going looking for a father figure in their men. It's the same thing.
mhm,
It's the same thing.
exactly.
If that child is not loved and cared for and made to feel special at home, then you'll push them out there into the arms of somebody who would superficially make them feel special because they don't even know what feeling special is. So maybe they thought the fact that
Exactly.
he cared about me and he wanted to make love to me, maybe that was, you know what I'm saying, them feeling like he cared. We don't know. But
That's it.
again,
Exactly.
I say we
Mhm.
have to be more aware of our kids. We have to be more aware of what's going on with our kids.
Exactly. And
Okay.
yeah, so we have to pay attention because there's always a pedophile out there uh, waiting on that child who's looking for validation. And they found that in R. Kelly.
I'm gonna read.
But
I want to read
when
off
it,
a few statistics. I didn't mean to cut you off,
okay,
Punk, but let me
no,
put
no, go
these
ahead. No, no, go
statistics
ahead.
in the air so people can see really what we facing. The statistics when it comes, to sex trafficking. Number one, African Americans and Latino youth are overrepresented in child sex trafficking cases. According to the FBI, 52% of juvenile arrests for commercial sex acts are African American children. Commercial sex acts. So think about this. Children are out being arrested for commercial sex acts, and nobody is responsible. Nobody is.
Exactly.
Yeah, we can get the guy who's buying sex. We can get him. Yeah, that's cool. But then there's a funnel of these kids coming from somewhere, usually homes, into the streets. And like we have to stop the funnel. We have to do stop the funnel. And if it don't start at home, where does it start at? Okay, another thing. Over 91% of the girls participating in Los Angeles Star Court, which is a court for child sex trafficking victims, are African American or Latino. 91% of the girls that appear in that court, which is a court strictly for child sex trafficking victims, 91% of those girls are African American and Latino. Studies consistently report that 50 to 90% of child sex trafficking victims have been involved in the child welfare system. Neglect. 50 to 90% of the children involved in child sex trafficking have been involved with the child welfare system. So is the child welfare system pimping them out? What's going on? Think about these statistics. Think about it. That's it. Okay. Instability creates opportunities for traffickers to reach out and bond with vulnerable children. These relationships are then used against the child to initiate sexual activities. Vulnerable kids. How do these kids become vulnerable? They become vulnerable because the parents dropped the ball, the school system dropped the ball, the village dropped the ball, because these kids end up feeling like they're not wanted, feeling neglected, to the point where they run to the streets and end up in the hands of predators. They're looking for something, and they're not finding it at home. They're not finding it in the community. They're not finding it with the people, the role models, and the people who are responsible for protecting and nurturing the kids. When did we get away from protecting and nurturing the kids?
And that's exactly what we need to focus on. When did we stop being parents? When did we stop caring? When did we stop asking our kids where they was going and letting them stay out till 1 or 2 in the morning when they're just probably 12 or 13? So the parents have to take some of the responsibility for this, because if they had not pimped their child out to R. Kelly, we wouldn't know anything about them. So they're just as bad as R. Kelly, if you ask me, because R. Kelly couldn't have done this alone. These parents, some of them say, well, he had my daughter and I couldn't see her. He was getting her ready for her singing career, but I couldn't see. You couldn't see. And she had to stay with R. Kelly so he could get her ready for a singing career. That makes no goddamn earthly fucking sense. It doesn't make any sense unless you just don't give a damn about your child. And R. Kelly turned state on his damn self years ago if you would listen to what he's saying in his songs. He's telling you who he is. The managers, they knew. Everybody that was working for R. Kelly knew. Nobody said nothing, but now they're cooperating with the feds, telling the feds everything that has went on. So they're desperately trying to build a solid case against R. Kelly. And some of you, I just got rid of one of you on my live feed. We ain't gonna do that tonight. Go play with your mama. Some of you got to get out of your feelings so you can see what's really going on. I'm gonna say it again. Some of you got to get out of your feelings so you can see what's really going on. You should be over there attacking R. Kelly. But R. Kelly didn't do it. You know what, Toby? You got two people in the room. You give one a 35 millimeter a camera. I give the other one the same camera, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got them both looking at two big pictures, same picture.
Mm-hmm.
And we want them to take pictures and then write out a summary about that painting. It's the same painting.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same two individuals. Each story is going to be different. One saw
Exactly.
this, but a lot of times you can't get a person to see what they don't want to see. Some people have put R. Kelly up on a pedestal that he himself knew he couldn't stand on. And you think he's God, he can't do no wrong. And for those of you who are out there, I just pray y'all don't have kids. I really do. Because y'all are sad.
Lord
You're
knows
sad.
I do.
That's sad. I mean,
Lord.
when we get to sex trafficking, Toby, they beat these girls sometimes. They beat them. And nobody finds anything wrong with that. Where the proof at? Where the proof at?
Like I said, I've been in the streets my whole life. I have, you know what I'm saying? No, I know girls personally who, you know, well, like you said, young runaways that was just looking for somewhere to kick it or looking for somewhere to chill. And just like I said, ended up, you know what I'm saying, taking a drink and woke up in the back of a car on the way to Houston. And was kept in Houston and locked in Houston in a hotel room, just like you said, getting beat, getting drugged, you know what I'm saying, and made to have sex, you know, until the person felt like he was comfortable enough to trust them to go out by themselves. And luckily, she still had a right mind to run away and get away from there and let somebody know. But I could just imagine how she would have felt if she went to her mom and her mom didn't believe her. Or I could just imagine if she went to somebody else on the streets and said, R. Kelly molested me, and that person said, girl, R. Kelly ain't molested you. R. Kelly ain't like that. I love R. Kelly. This is the third, and ain't never met R. Kelly in a day in their life. Woo! I would hate to see how that lady, you know what I'm saying, or how that child would respond to that.
And even if we said some of these girls was just some hot little girls, and they probably were. But here's the thing. Because they were fast, some and hot little girls, did that give R. Kelly the right to violate them?
And just like exactly, if they fast and hot little girls, like we sit up and say all the time, are they fast and they hot? Just like I tell people, you know what I'm saying, when those predators and pedophiles try to say, well, if the young girls wasn't walking around dressed like that, they wouldn't know. That is not justification. That is not justification because they dress a certain way or they act a certain way for somebody to take advantage of them. That is not justification. And if you feel like that's justification, God forbid, because you have no morals or no values.
Okay, we just got rid of another jackass.
We have to understand, just like, and let me be the first to say this. I've been in the streets. When I was out there in the streets in my younger years, 25, 26, I wasn't carding every female, you know what I'm saying, that I was intimate with either. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't think that far. But to knowingly, you know what I'm saying, have sex with an underage girl as a 27, 30-year-old man, to knowingly do that, you know you are dead ass wrong. You know you are dead, and you don't give a damn.
I want you to respond to something Shaquita Johnson said. She said, yes, sir. And no one said anything all those years. She's referring to the people that worked for R. Kelly and no one said anything. So in your opinion, why do you think everybody, kept quiet?
And look at, okay, I'm gonna give you, you know what I'm saying, a few notes on that too. I took a few notes on that, on the all the people who were enablers. Okay, you know what I'm saying, the parents. You know what I'm saying? The parents of the girl, you know what I'm saying, who Sparkle's cousin, the initial girl in the tape. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, her parents, after she didn't show up to testify in court. Think about this. This is a, you know what I'm saying, teen. Where did the teen go hide out? Or where were the parents when it was time to go testify? What were the parents doing with this teen? Well, you know what I'm saying? Michael Avenatti said that allegedly the family received $2 million for the girl not testifying. So would $2 million make you hide, would be enough to hide your daughter somewhere to where she can't come testify, or to where if you did ask her, she would say, no, that's not me. $2 million. Okay. Sparkle, you know what I'm saying, who I say, number one, I readily feel like saying the same thing. You were involved with Kelly. You had a singing career. It was public news. Kelly told you not to tell anybody y'all was intimate. You went out and told it anyway. 9 times out of 10, he probably dismissed you for that. That's why I believe you did what you did and you told it. You told it because that was your little cousin and it wasn't you anymore. I believe that. And I, like I said, I don't knock that. But the thing about it is, Sparkle was a key prosecution witness at R. Kelly's trial for child pornography. But her niece, the alleged girl in the video, her sister, the mom, and brother-in-law, who had become R. Kelly's guitarist. He got him a job. He got him a job as a guitarist. The uncle got, yeah, he got him a job as a guitarist with R. Kelly. But like they refused to testify. The girl, the mama, you know what I'm saying? But $2 million, you know what I'm saying, to make you not want to testify in certain cases, if you about the money and not about, you know, protecting your child.
Exactly. But you know what? That's extremely not only sad, but it's scary when it's money over child.
Okay, you remember Kerry Kelly, the brother. If we remember,
that's one that was in jail.
No, if we remember, R. Kelly initially himself out of his own mouth said that wasn't him on the tape, that was his brother. Now, that for the people that know R. Kelly, y'all remember that, don't y'all? Remember Kelly said that was his brother on the tape. You know what I'm saying? So he like, okay, that's my brother. That's not me. Okay. But just like you said, Kerry Kelly says he once found a tape with Kelly and little white girls and regretfully gave his brother the videotape back so he could destroy it, allegedly. But if I find a videotape of my brother molesting kids and I take that videotape and I give it to my brother for him to destroy, am I not guilty of something?
100%.
I'm just saying, is that not punishable? Because I had the evidence, I had everything that I could have used to save another girl or save more girls from going through the same thing. But I chose, for whatever reason, to take my brother's side, to put, if I had any morals, to put my personal morals and values aside and turn a blind eye for whatever benefits I was getting from my brother. But then think about it. That same brother allegedly turned around and tried to throw me under the bus when he got caught. Yeah. Okay. One former friend and collaborator, Lavelle Jones, said that Kelly asked him to scout out women that looked young at parties and claimed that it was common knowledge that the singer preferred young girls. It was common knowledge to him. He picked out, Kelly pointed out young girls, or hey, go get her for me, or he did that and brought them to him and then turned a blind eye. Is he not guilty of something? Your underage girls, I'm picking up underage girls allegedly for R. Kelly and taking them to him. And I know what he's going to do with them. I know what I know he's into young girls, but I didn't do anything wrong. I'm going to testify and help him. Are you testifying, you know what I'm saying, because you is wrong, or are you testifying because we got caught?
Come on.
And I'm trying to save myself.
Come on.
It's bigger than R. Kelly. And just like I said, whether it's singing, whether it's sports, because we know, or we done heard the stories about young athletes who parents push them, you know what I'm saying, to become athletes so he can get rich and he can take care of us and I don't have to work no more. And those parents that have taken bribes and taken, you know, and did this and did that, or bought their daughter way into college or something like that, you know what I'm saying, to try to better their career because our benefit. Exactly. Our benefit.
You know, this is probably one of the many reasons why girls and boys that are being molested and raped don't say anything,
Exactly.
because nobody's going to believe them anyway. And I'm sure there had to be times where even this girl was obsessed with R. Kelly, but she wasn't ready for what he was ready for. But for the money, the fame, whatever comes with it, she did it. But
Just
you cannot find no fault in R. Kelly for doing that. You can't find nothing. Everybody that's saying things about R. Kelly is telling a goddamn lie. Prove it. Prove it. Look, watch this. In the new documents, it talks about a 17-year-old boy whom R. Kelly met at a McDonald's in December 2006, and later invited him to his Chicago studio. The prosecutors claims that Kelly propositioned and had sexual contact with the boy while he was still underage. Furthermore, when Kelly was facing the trial for child pornography in 2008, he told the youth to contact a junior so that they could do what they did. Now, if you don't see no guilt on Kelly, nothing Kelly has done wrong, you have a mental issue going on. You do. And if you have children and they're underage, the state should be called in to take your kids away. You got to get past the fact that R. Kelly sounds good. He's a nice looking man. He's got this, but you got to get past that. You're putting that over what the alleged victims are saying.
they're not gonna
R.
get past
Kelly
it.
is not innocent.
They're
You
not gonna
can't
get
make
past it.
R. Kelly be innocent. Go ahead, Toby.
They can't get past it because a lot of them that's coming, I know in my heart, if R. Kelly came and asked for their child and told them they're gonna make them famous, they'll send them with them today. They'll send them with them today. I know they would. It's a lot of them that's listening now that's coming. If R. Kelly came and said your child is the next Aaliyah, they would pack their bags up and send them with him. Especially if he leave a check and promise to send
That's
more.
it. That's
Simply.
it.
Simply.
That's it. R. Kelly is due in court next month to answer some of the charges in New York. My personal belief, this is not a fact, it's my personal belief, is that R. Kelly is going to do some serious time.
And I'll say this. For the new allegations, you know what I'm saying, as far as the boys and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, like from what I've read, I'm not even sure if that's, you know what I'm saying, it has any merit. But I will say this: after a pattern of allowing yourself to be in the wrong situation and a pattern of paying people, you know what I'm saying, that for stuff that you didn't do, or to getting them to sign documents to saying they can't talk about stuff that didn't happen, that alone will open up the door for people to come in and lie.
Exactly.
That
Exactly.
alone will open up the door for people to come in and lie, because like if all these people lying and they getting paid, why not lie too? You know what I'm saying, and pay them. And that's why I say it ain't nowhere in the world my name would be associated with paying somebody for lying on me. It's not happening.
That's it. But you're absolutely right. Anybody can jump on the bandwagon now and say,
exactly,
R. Kelly did this and R. Kelly did that.
Exactly.
You know,
and
so
I'll readily admit that. But you open the door. You know what I'm saying? Just like anybody else who's been put themselves, because every actor, every person done did it. Like I done been in a situation where I gave a person something to drink now. You know what I'm saying? And just like I said, I looked at Bill Cosby and said, okay, so every time I took a girl out and kicked it and I bought her something to drink and we smoked a little weed and something happened afterwards, if she say she wasn't in her right mind, I could have been Bill Cosby. I talked about that and like, yeah, it's that easy. Like you could have been Bill Cosby. So like once you realize that, why would you keep putting yourself in situations like that? Once I realized that, why would I keep on picking up girls, getting them high and getting them drunk, you know what I'm saying, and then having relations with them. No, like eventually we got to be responsible enough to say, okay, if nothing else, I'm responsible for allowing myself, to be put in those situations where people can attack me. I'm going to change that. And I'm going to start making moves to put myself in a situation where people can't attack me. But
exactly.
no, you kept doing it, and you kept paying people off for nothing and getting them to sign agreements to say they wouldn't talk about nothing.
And what you just said, I totally agree with that. You've gotten off of the first case. You beat that, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
But before you get off
the ink dried
of
on the documents,
courthouse grounds,
exactly.
You told your manager, take that baby right there. Before he got off of courthouse grounds, he give her my card. So when you keep putting yourself in certain predicaments that make it look like you might be doing something you shouldn't be doing, that's suspect, that's questionable. And when you do it right after you leave the courtroom where you was just acquitted, you can't read between the damn lines. He didn't give a fuck. He don't care. He's R. Kelly. He's gonna keep doing it. He's gonna keep doing it. Bottom line is, R. Kelly, you gonna do some goddamn time. It's as simple as that. And for you all who get upset when I say what I say about him and Toby, your parents must be so proud. Y'all are sick too. Y'all are sick. You're part of what's wrong with this country. You're not the cure. You're the symptom to this country. It is a blessing from God to give a woman the ability to give birth. But you take that precious gift and you misuse it. You misuse it for your own selfish gain. You got to get past Robert Sylvester. You have to get past that. You have to. And a lot of these girls didn't come from wealth. R. Kelly knew that. Whatever he showed them, they enjoyed it. R. Kelly is not, I don't think he's guilty of everything they're saying, like Toby keeps saying, but he's guilty of some shit. And he knows it. If you're not, why do you keep going back to that same spot, Toby? Why?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you continuously put yourself in them situations. And just like I said, if the great songwriter you are, the great singer you are, if you don't know enough, you know what I'm saying, to say I'm going to stop putting myself in certain situations, then you deserve what you get, because we have to hold ourselves accountable. You know what I'm saying? I was in a situation one time where I went, you know what I'm saying, I used to mess with the music. I went to one of my friend's house to do music. And I was sitting at my friend's house. I had just got dropped off. You know what I'm saying? And my friend wasn't there. He called me and said, well, hey, I got, you know what I'm saying, this little female coming through and this and that there. You know what I'm saying? Like, immediately, you know what I'm saying, the female came through and looked young. I immediately called my ride like, hey, come get me. I can't stay here. You know what I'm saying? And like, I was in a street mentality. Then I was younger. I didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do what I should have did and say, hey, man, you need to stop that. You know that girl. But I got myself out of the situation because I couldn't have stayed there. And then the police hit the spot. And then I said, well, you know, man, that was him. Or that you here.
That's it.
At least have enough sense to you know what I'm saying, not allow yourself to be put in situations where you can be compromised, because it's gonna cost you now. If you didn't do nothing, it's gonna cost you. I bet you do. I'm gonna tell you right now, and just like I said, simply because I know the system. You won the first case. They mad at you about that. They gonna hang you out to dry right now. You know what I'm saying? Because you got away with the first one. That's why they gonna hang you out to dry. And if you sitting in there, I hope you sitting in there saying, man, this is because if you didn't do it and they hang you out to dry and you got to do that time for it, yo, bad. You should have fought harder. You should have not paid people out. You should have went to court early on and tried, you know what I'm saying, to shut all of that down. And because the one thing I know, the two things for sure, think about this. You have to prove you had sex with somebody. That's the burden. That is the burden right there. And if I didn't have sex with you, we going to court. because the burden is on you if you make the accusation. I'm not giving you no money because the burden is still on you if you make the accusation. The burden on you to prove that I had sex with you. And just like I said, regardless of what, if I agree to compensate you for anything, that is the same as agreeing that I did something culpable. I'm at fault for something. If I'm paying for it, I'm at fault. That's admitting fault for something. Believe
And
me,
I like how
because
you put it last night. I'm not gonna pay for something that hell I know I didn't even get.
I never got. And then to keep it real, God forbid, because we talking about young girls. But if I'm gonna pay for something I didn't get, if I got you signing documentation, can I put a clause in there to say at least I can get it? Because I'm finna pay for it. Can I put a clause in there to say at least I can get it if I'm finna pay for it? I paid $250,000 for it. I paid $250,000 for it. If I'm gonna make you sign something, a clause, hey man, can I put a clause in there to say I at least can give me a shot since I'm finna pay for it? Now I'm gonna pay for nothing though.
Might as well. What the hell, you know?
I'm gonna pay for nothing though. Quit playing.
Exactly. So before we get out of here, this is a very, very serious issue. It goes on every day. And when we look at sex trafficking, realize that your daughters and your sons, if you ever see them again, will never look the same again. They probably wouldn't even know you.
No.
You got to get out of your feelings and stop going off of third-hand information. Stop repeating things that you just want to be true. And you're raised right now. Yeah, that's what I said. Well, you can have 10,000 people agree with you. That don't mean they right and you're right. People believe what they want to believe. It's just as simple as that. You want that to be true? Yeah, he did it, he did it, he did it. These folks do not have R. Kelly sitting up in a jail cell on a 132 damn lives. Do you know these folks' career is at stake? They know what they're doing. They know he's not guilty of everything, I don't think, but he's done some things. And they're putting together a solid case on R. Kelly.
I stand by my opinion. And if it's found out that he didn't do nothing, I can say my opinion was wrong. Y'all said y'all said he innocent. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got y'all feelings involved. So if y'all find out he guilty, or you're gonna be woman enough or man enough to say, damn, I was wrong. That's all. Because I had no problem. Just like I said, allegedly, I personally feel like, and I can say, okay, I was wrong. But then I know a lot of y'all are instead of saying, yeah, if he came out and said today, you'll make an excuse for him. If he came out and said today he did everything, y'all will make an excuse for him. Y'all will go back to say, oh, well, y'all remember he had family member molested him when y'all gonna make excuses for him. And just like I said, keep doing it. But one thing about it, when it's your daughter or when it's somebody close to you, it might make sense then. It might make sense then. But until then, I still say I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the accuser, because at the end of the day, I would rather find out that person lied to me and I was out there on a bogus mission trying to get them some help than to find out that person told me the truth and I didn't believe them. I can live better with myself. I can live better with myself buying a lie than I can, you know what I'm saying, not believing the truth. So
exactly because people believe what they want to believe. People see what they want to see. People will not see what they don't want to see. Exactly. You know, and so we're not here to try to change minds. It is what it is. It ain't what it is. But all I'm saying is, especially when you come on this channel and disagree with ugliness or trying to attack my character or somebody else's character, when you do that, I'm gonna tell you why you do that. Because you're not a good debater. You're losing at what we're speaking on. So then you come to try and attack my character or my past. And that makes you look super stupid. I'm Al Scott with Injustice Investigation. Remember, I'm not always right and you are not always wrong. Nephew, get us out of here, please.
Hey, let's keep talking about it. That's the only way we can get it right. That's the only way we're going to make changes in our life. That's the only way we can start to become better humans and better people. We have to discuss the stuff that it makes us uncomfortable. And I'm going to keep on talking about it. Peace. Amen. I thank y'all for tuning in.
We'll see y'all tomorrow night.
Yes.